And what was meant to be a 3-week holiday, coming to get a passport for our last born son, Gabi, ended up being a 5.5-month period in Kenya in 2018.
You know, this story is so amazing. There's a point in this story where Mercy was talking about, is it making 22,000?
Yes.
At Kirinyaga Road?
Yes, yes.
Now you're talking about doing deals for 4 billion.
Yeah.
And they say, I can't fathom, I've never held a billion, I can't fathom what that is. But then when you tell me holding 4,000 million, I'm going to say it in a way where my mind can fathom exactly how much it is.
Yeah.
That's how much your growth has been. I love the word that you use, trust, integrity. To whose trust with little much will be given.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing about the progression of your story. Okay, let's transition now from the service story. Your child is born, second born.
My second born is born.
Son now.
Son. And God is amazing, because at this time when I'm transitioning maternity leave, I come back into now a new job. This was in 2016. So 2016, I was still at InvestBridge Capital, which is in DIFC, Dubai International Financial Center. We now open Africa Crest Education, and now I move in as employee number 2. Employee number 1 was our CEO, Johnny Hub, who now we recruited because Johnny had education experience, he was more mature. And also from a time, because I remember Mark was like, take this role. I was like, no, I need to learn from someone who knows education, and he'll be better placed, yeah? Wow. Plus I have a young family. What he can do, I can't do with my young family, because 2016 was an intense year from a travel perspective. So Johnny joins, I become employee number 2. And even when I'm speaking about all this, it's not Mercy doing it. There's also a larger team behind us. But remember, the vision has been given, and God is using a person as a touch point here and there, and even Centum and IBC. You know,
you're being humble. So me, I don't have to be. Service would not exist if you are not born, if you are not placed where you are at that time. You are the one who connected all the different people. So, and that's not to say the glory goes to you, but it's to say you are a key player in ensuring that this thing came to life.
Thank God for that. And thank you, Mercy. As I've been taught by Almighty, you can thank yourself.
Yeah, thank yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's incredible that what you said on a plane, leaving, you came back and did it. What was it like with the guys who you were in Campo with? When you'd come back, did you touch base with any of them?
Yes, we did. My very good friend, Mikal, is now company secretary at Centum. So that was we continue, we have that relationship. Lucille was doing the curio, the African jewelry, still does it. And she also practices. So those are the ones that we really touched base with continuously. There's also Philip, who we lost touch but now have since reconnected.
Your mom must have also been just like my daughter. So proud.
My mom. She'll be like, Ati, who called you? CK, you're speaking on a one-on-one basis. Isn't that God? And I'm like, yes, it is, Mom. And all the prayers, because I know
powerful.
All this success has been from the prayers that my grandparents, remember when I spoke about my dad and my mom giving and that legacy, those seeds that they put to the ground, some of these are the fruits that we've entered into, my siblings and I, like uncommon favor. The prayers, shepherding, being in a good community. Helima played a fundamental role in my life, speaking life as an intercessor during that 2016 period. She was very connected, and she would be one of my friends who would actually actively check up on me. How is the project? I'm like, hey, today I feel like we are back to ground zero. I need to come to Kenya. So she would actively speak life. And this is Helima and I as friends, nothing to do with Pius. So we had our own very personal relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you remember that? Okay, 2015.
Yeah.
Continue the story, or is it now 2016?
We're now 2016. We've bought the land. I've moved to Africa Crest. 2017, we start construction. Remember now, these 800 people, that's 2017. 2018, 2017 August, I'm pregnant again. I went back to work and I'm like, what? How am I breaking this news? These guys will think I want to use their insurance policy. Like, I just moved to this role. I started in February.
Yes.
August, I'm pregnant again. And I panicked.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
Explain this from a corporate perspective. What you're saying, we're laughing about it, but it's actually a serious thing.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
It's a fear. Is it then a fear? Does that mean like you can't? Like, does society look at it like you can't do both? What is it?
There's that, and I'm so grateful for my then CEO, Johnny, because he spoke life. He said, it's good to have them together. Then you can rest. Okay, I didn't rest, but it's good to have them together. And, Mercy, you can work from anywhere. So there are mornings I would wake up and I'm feeling sick, because of just that cycle.
Yeah.
And he's the one who introduced me to working from home from as early as 2017. Because now 2017 August, I'm pregnant. I have the baby. We have the baby in May 2018. So he allowed for flexi hours. I also still had to travel.
What's the distance in age of your 3 kids? So at this time?
At this time, 3 years between the first and the second. And between the second and the third, literally 1.5 years. So I had toddlers. I had
that's
an
the
infant and a toddler.
At this time, there are 2 girls, 1 boy.
1 girl.
2 boys. That's how long we've talked batteries.
Yes.
Okay, continue, you were saying?
No, you asked how is that?
Yes.
So they're all young, yeah? Because now I have 3 children under 5.
In fact, I was saying that's 2. You said you had one girl, 2 boys.
Yes.
Yes.
1 girl, 2 boys, and all of them are under 5. And so 2018, a few things happened that were also markers and also transformational. I was on maternity leave, and by this whole time, my family is really traveling a lot to come and see us. Yeah, my family in Kenya, my family from the States. So we are hosting, entertaining a lot. A lot of people who are coming from Kenya, business leaders, are also coming home for dinner. So our home just became another stopover place for people transiting, yeah? And also for Kenyans, we became the place where people come for Christmas. And that was such an amazing experience for a lot of Kenyans, because they were able to see if these guys who are Kenyans are living here, it's also possible. Because also for me, I had seen a Kenyan living like that, to be able to say it's also possible for you to be successful in that setting. But I define success very differently.
Yes,
yeah? Success is being in right standing with God.
Okay.
So we move now, 3 children under 5. I'm on maternity leave, and I just feel I need to go to Kenya. And Alex is like, okay, fine, you need to go to Kenya, but I can't because of work. I say, don't worry, I'll go to Kenya by myself. Hey, that journey was like 40 hours. Okay, it was 5 hours, but later I was like, what was I thinking? But there was a lot of angelic assistance on that plane. But then I learned like this, one of our key person in church, my sister, big sister, had just passed away.
Oh.
So that was such a shaker to the ministry, because it was very sudden and unexpected. To call her Mama Adura. And she was our intercessor, someone who would speak. God used her to call me forth into salvation, because even before I rededicated my life, God had started showing her who I am And she started calling me out, along with my spiritual father. Can you imagine? They have not met me in person, but God had already shown them who I am.
Wow.
So at times, we really don't know who our intercessors are.
Wow.
We don't have an idea who our intercessors, and that's an amazing ministry. So this Mama Esther passes away. Oh, we were so heartbroken, but I was so grateful that I was here. And what was meant to be a 3-week holiday, coming to get a passport for our last born son, Gabi, ended up being a 5.5-month period in Kenya in 2018. Because now we came in June. I think we landed June 25th or 6th. Yeah? July. End of July. We left just before Christmas, December 18th. Because now August, we weren't able to get his passport. Then service now was officially opening.
Yes.
And who's the touch point for all my international investors? It's Mercy. So the board comes, we have our first board meeting. There were a couple of glitches here and there in terms of approvals. So they're like, why don't you stay and oversee the operationalization of the school? And if anything, your child goes to service in Dubai, they'll continue. And the beauty with service
it doesn't matter.
They're learning the same thing in the other school the same day.
Yeah.
So we are like, okay, fine. It's fantastic. But then fast forward, that was a key period in our lives, which we'll talk about later. So we stay in Kenya. The kids are now enjoying Kenya. They're loving Kenya. I still have 2 under 2. 2 under 2. Alex is alone in Dubai, Oishe. Koki is also alone, but now Alex begins to come back and forth every so often.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Richie, we left with a few clothes. So every time he'll come, he'll bring us clothes because now I'm working.
Yeah.
I came with
holiday
clothes. So he's bringing me stuff. By the time we were going back, we had so much luggage because we'd been here for 5.5 months. The school opens and God, I was so grateful for having spent that time here, but also having spent the time with my church family in Kenya. Because you see, I'll come and go.
And where were you staying? Did you get a house or you were with your moms?
We were initially with our moms. Then we later on now moved to Runda, close to the school because of the commute. And also now because hubby was coming a bit more often, we needed our own space. Yeah, so we got a house, a serviced place close to the school. It became easy from a transit perspective. And it was also an opportunity for us to really experience life in Kenya.
In fact, I was going to ask you, had you, since the time you had left all those years ago, had you lived in Kenya for that period of time?
No, I'd visited.
When you're visiting, you'd be Airbnb, parents' house?
I'll be parents' house, Alex's folks' house,
yes.
Alex's sister Carol, Airbnb.
So it wasn't a time where
No, it was, we laugh because we'll come and see Kenya in a different light. You know, you're on holiday. You're not experiencing traffic. Then when Kenya begins to irritate you just a bit, you're like, I'm going back home. Hey, now there was no going back home. We didn't even know how long we were going to be here for.
Yeah.
We were here. But it was such a good time for us because we are with family and we're being inducted back home in a way.
Did your kids start service school here?
Yes, now my daughter.
Okay.
She had already been in service in Dubai. So she was in service in, is it grade 1? I think grade 1 or 2. Yeah.
So she got to experience when
Kenya.
when it opened.
Yes.
Wow.
She got to experience. She was the first cohort of students. She loved it. She was like, wow, people look like me.
Oh.
This is good. And you see, as a parent, you're not seeing that.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, these people look like me now.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. I've experienced that, so I know. I know what that means.
Yeah. The boys are still small, so I don't even think they have a recollection. But they're enjoying all this nice organic food that mama and papa gets people to get on a plane to bring to Dubai. We had 2 huge freezers because of stocking up. So 2018, remember 2018, I went on maternity leave. I come again, I have been promoted. Like every time I've been on maternity leave, I have been promoted. I go on maternity leave, I get promoted. And I get a job that I virtually did not apply for. I go again on maternity leave in 2018. I come back, I've been promoted by the board. And I'm like, okay. Anyway, it was for a blessing and not for a demotion. Because you asked me, how is it for a woman in terms of thinking of career progression? But you see what God is doing, and he's showing me that the blessings of the Lord make one rich and add no sorrow.
Wow.
So that was a manifestation.
Okay.
And you can see God has been such a key pillar in my life, even when I did not know. Yeah.
You know, I like this point where in CTA where we no longer talk about the paycheck because there's silence. When I do CTAs in the beginning, people mention the paycheck, and then they hit a point where it's silence. But this just means it's good.
It is good. It is good.
So, yes.
Mercy is happy.
I like it. And anytime it hits that, I'm just like, wow! Like, may we all get to a place where you don't say your paycheck.
Amen. It is possible.
Yes.
If God has done it for me, he can do it. Yeah.
So that's such a blessing. So, okay, 2018, you go back.
Yes,
December,
we go back.
Just before COVID.
Just before COVID.